Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. Today we're bringing into D&D the perfected Pokemon, Mewtwo. Yes, I said perfected. I want you all to understand my stance on Mewtwo. I have an entire deck centered on this Pokemon. I'd also like to say I'm old enough to remember the premiere of Pokemon, so you can understand why Mewtwo is such a big deal to me. A genetically modified Pokemon, Mewtwo started life awakening in a lab, unable to understand where they were. Placing their trust in a man named Giovanni, Mewtwo began their journey to understand their power until they discovered Giovanni had created them to be a weapon under his direct control. Didn't go well for Giovanni after that moment. Breaking free, Mewtwo has spent the years since trying to avoid people while understanding what it means to exist. Mewtwo's psionic abilities are nearly beyond comprehension, exceeding all expectations. Mewtwo has nearly limitless telekinetic ability. The upper limits that we have seen borderline on strange and godlike ability, such as the power to merge living creatures together in both mind and body. We will not be doing this, as there is no way to do it without homebrew. Also, because of the massive power of Mewtwo's mind, they can't sleep or be put to sleep. We're not even going to get into their biological systems, as that just makes things much weirder, but I will say they require very little food and water to survive, much less than a normal Pokemon does. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, and Unearthed Arcana because it's my channel and I really want to do this. And yes, you know where this is going with Van Richten's Guide. I'll explain in a minute. We're using standard point array, and we are not multi-classing, so let's do this. Make intelligence 15, dex 14, con 13, strength 12, wisdom 10, and we're going to be dumping charisma with an 8 because you prefer to be by yourself. I support both the reasoning and the decision you have made. Mewtwo is a genetically altered clone of a cat Pokemon. Reborn from Van Richten's is going to work for a genetically altered clone of something else. So I actually went through a few different lineages with this build. Tabaxi, Astral Elf, and even one point I contemplated Thri-Kreen, but none of them really worked as well as they should, as Mewtwo is incredibly unique with their biology. In the end, Reborn will give us what we need and add a little bit more to it. But if you want to make Mewtwo a little bit more grounded, go with Tabaxi, or just go completely strange and pick whatever you want. Ancestral Legacy gives you the skills Perception and Insight. Knowledge from a past life lets you add a d6 to skill checks. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. Deathless Nature gives you advantage on saving throws against poison and disease, resistance to poison damage, advantage on death saves, you don't sleep and can't be put to sleep magically, and you don't require food, water, or air. Your long rests are 4 hours long, where you remain completely aware of your surroundings. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Dex and +1 into Intelligence. For your origin feat, Alert sharpens your senses and lets you add your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls, and you can switch places in the initiative order before combat with a willing ally if both of you aren't incapacitated. For skills, grab Intimidation and Athletics. To end out your background, take proficiency in a Tinkerer's Tools or any tool that you wish. Now, before we get to the class, I'm going to be using Scion from Unearthed Arcana for 2 very good reasons. 1, because it's perfect for the Master of Psychic Pokemon, and 2, because D&D needs more classes. Seriously, I love classes like Ranger and the others, but we need more variety. I would love to see Blood Hunter get a true release with more subclasses, and I'm happy Artificer will be returning soon, but we need more unique classes. If you can't use Unearthed Arcana or just don't want to, switch Charisma to be the better stat and make yourself an Aberrant Mind Sorcerer. Level 1 Scions from Unearthed Arcana start things off with 2 skills. Choose Arcana and Investigation. You are proficient in simple weapons and the saving throws Intelligence and Wisdom. Spellcasting gives you some magical power. Intelligence is your spellcasting modifier. You ignore verbal and material components when you cast spells unless the material component would be consumed by the spell. You regain used spell slots at the end of a long rest, and you start off with 2 cantrips and 4 first level spells. Psionic Power grants you psionic energy dice that you can use to fuel your powers. These psionic energy dice start off at 4d6 per long rest, but you regain 1 dice after a short rest. For some features you can use this with, Telekinetic Propel is a bonus action where you choose 1 creature within 30 feet of you that is a size large or smaller. The creature must make a strength save or be pulled towards you or pushed away from you up to 5 feet. You can also expend a psionic energy dice with this, and now the push equals a number of feet equal to 5 times the psionic dice roll. Telepathic Connection gives you telepathy out to 30 feet, and as a bonus action you can increase the range of this telepathy equal to 10 times the result of a roll of 1 psionic energy dice for up to 1 hour. Subtle Telekinesis gives you the cantrip Mage Hand, but it no longer has somatic components and is invisible. Mage Hand allows you to perform simple interactions with an object out to 30 feet for 1 minute that can weigh no more than 10 pounds. For your spells, Blade Ward gives you a minor telekinetic shield for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. While this spell is active, all attacks against you must subtract 1d4 from their attack rolls. Mind Sliver targets a creature within 60 feet of you, forcing a wisdom save and dealing 1d6 psychic damage, and they now must subtract 1d4 from their next saving throw before the end of your next turn. Mage Armor covers you in a telekinetic field, giving you an AC of 13 plus your dex modifier for 8 hours when not wearing armor. Dissonant Whispers targets a creature within 60 feet and forces a wisdom save, dealing 3d6 psychic damage on a failure, and they must now use their reaction to run from you. Jump increases your jump distance to 30 feet by sacrificing 10 feet of your movement. Life Siphon, found in the Unearthed Arcana, targets a creature within 120 feet, dealing 1d10 psychic damage on a hit, and then you can expend 1 of your hit dice to increase the damage by 1d10. Level 2 Scions unlock Psionic Discipline. This grants you new features that you can use your psionic dice with. You're starting off with 2 disciplines at this level and can only use 1 discipline at a time, unless it states it. For your disciplines, Destructive Thoughts improves your psionic conjuration and evocation spells that force a saving throw. When you do this, you expand 1 psionic energy dice and roll it, adding psychic damage to the spell equal to the roll of the dice plus your intelligence modifier. Bolstering Precognition improves your psionic abjuration or divination spells. Now when you cast one of these spells, you can expend 1 psionic energy dice to give a bonus to a d20 test equal to the roll of the dice to a creature within 60 feet you can see. For your new spell, Featherfall telekinetically slows your fall down with a reaction for 1 minute, and if you hit the ground while the spell is active, you take no fall damage. Level 3 Scions now have access to their subclass. Psykinetic from Unearthed Arcana unleashes your fury. Stronger Telekinesis increases the range of Mage Hand by 30 feet, and now you can interact with objects up to 20 pounds. Telekinetic Techniques adds new effects to Telekinetic Propel. Now you can add 1 effect to the target of your Telekinetic Propel, like increasing their speed by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. They can't make attacks of opportunity until the start of your next turn, or you deal force damage equal to a roll of a psionic energy dice. Also, you can roll at 1d4 instead of a psionic energy dice when you use this. Psykinetic spells grant you more spells as you level up in Scion. You now have 2nd level spells. For your psykinetic spells, Shield uses telekinesis to add +5 to your AC as a reaction and automatically stops magic missile for 1 turn. Thunder Wave unleashes a wave of destructive energy in a 15-foot cube in front of you, forcing a con save on everyone within the cube and dealing 2d8 thunder damage on a failure and pushing them back by 10 feet. Cloud of Daggers unleashes telekinetic blades in a 5-foot cube out to 60 feet from you for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. While this spell is active, any creature that enters the cube or ends its turn within the cube takes 4d4 slashing damage. Also, while active, you can use your action to move the cloud 30 feet. Levitate allows you to raise a creature or object that weighs no more than 500 pounds for up to 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. An unwilling creature must make a con save. While active, you can use your action to move the affected target 20 feet up or down, but must stay within 60 feet of you. When the spell ends, the affected target slowly and safely lowers to the ground. For your new spell, Shatter sends out a telekinetic blast out to 60 feet and explodes into a 10-foot radius sphere, forcing a con save on everyone within the sphere, dealing 3d8 thunder damage on a failure. Level 4 Scions earn our first ability score improvement, Bump Up Intelligence for more psionic power. For your new spell, Hold Person grips a humanoid within telekinetic force. Targeting a humanoid within 60 feet, you force a wisdom save, and if they fail, they are paralyzed for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. While active, they can repeat the save at the end of each of their turns to end the spell. Telekinetic Fling lets you launch a non-magical object that weighs up to 5 pounds at a creature within 60 feet, dealing 1d10 force damage on a hit. Level 5 Scions gain Psionic Restoration. By focusing for 1 minute, you can regain expended used Psionic Energy Dice. You can do this once per long rest. You now have 6 Psionic Energy Dice that are now D8s. You now have 3rd level spells. You also gain 2 more Psionic Disciplines. For your disciplines, Id Insinuation improves your Psionic Enchantment or Illusion spells. When you cast one of these spells, you can expend 1 Psionic Energy Dice, forcing the target to subtract half of the results of the die roll from their saving throw. Inerrant Aim improves your attack rolls. Now when you make an attack roll and miss, you can expend 1 Psionic Energy Dice to add to the attack, only expending the dice if you are able to hit. For your Psykinetic spells, Slow creates a 40-foot cube out to 120 feet for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. Up to 6 creatures within the cube must make a wisdom save or be affected by the spell. While the spell is active, their speed is halved, they have a -2 penalty to their AC and Dex saves, and they can't take reactions. Also, while on their turns, they can either take an action or bonus action, not both, and can only make 1 attack action, even if they have multiple attacks. If they try to cast a spell that has somatic components, there's a 25% chance it will fail. It can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns to end the spell on a success. Telekinetic Crush from Unearthed Arcana creates a 30-foot cube out to 120 feet. Each creature within the cube must make a strength save or take 5d6 force damage and now have the prone condition. For your new spell, Fly gives you a flying speed of 60 feet for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. Tasha's Mind Whip, which can be found in Tasha's Cauldron or the Unearthed Arcana, targets a creature within 90 feet and forces an intelligence save, dealing 3d6 psychic damage on a failure. Also, the target can't make attacks of opportunity until the end of its next turn, and it can only do an action or bonus action, not both. Your character level 5, your proficiency bonus is now +3. Mind Sliver and Telekinetic Flip now deal 2 damage dice each. Level 6 Psykinetic Scions receive Destructive Trance. When you do this, for the next 10 minutes, you gain a flying speed of 20 feet and can hover. Finally, when you cast a Scion spell that uses a spell slot, you can roll a Psionic Energy Dice and add the roll to the damage, and it doesn't expend the Psionic Energy Dice. Rebounding Field improves your defenses. Now when you cast Shield, you can expend 1 Psionic Energy Dice to launch the attacker backwards. The attacker must make a Dex save or take force damage equal to the Psionic Energy Dice plus your intelligence modifier. You also gain temporary HP equal to the force damage. For your new spell, Mind Sliver targets 1 creature within 120 feet and forces a wisdom save and deals 3d8 psychic damage. Also, for 1 hour while you maintain the spell, you know the location of the creature you've hit. Level 7 Scions get Psionic Surge. When you roll 1 or more Psionic Energy Dice, you can expend 1 of your hit dice and treat any roll of 1, 2, or 3 on the Psionic Energy Dice as a 4. You also now have 4th level spells. For your Psykinetic spells, Udaluk's Resilient Spear encases a creature in a protective telekinetic energy field within 30 feet of you if it is a size large or smaller for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. Nothing can pass through the spear, it is weightless, and Disintegrate spell can destroy it. Stone Shape lets you reshape a medium or smaller object made of stone into whatever you wish it to be. For your new spell, Dimension Door lets you teleport up to 500 feet to a location you can see, describe, or envision, but if you teleport into something, you will take some force damage and the spell will fail. Level 8 Scions earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Intelligence. For your new spell, Raluthan's Psychic Lance from Fizzbands or the Unearthed Arcana targets one creature within 120 feet that you can see or name. The target must make an intelligence save or take 7d6 psychic damage and gets the incapacitated condition until the start of your next turn. Level 9 Scions gain 5th level spells. You also now have 8 psionic energy dice. For your psykinetic spells, Telekinesis gives you true telekinetic abilities for 10 minutes while you maintain this spell. While active, you can grab an object or creature that is a size huge or smaller. If it is a creature, it must succeed on a strength save or be restrained. You can lift an affected target up to 30 feet with an action each turn, and unlike Levitate, when it drops, it really drops. Wall of Force creates a telekinetic field that you can shape out of 10 panels, each 10 foot by 10 foot. Nothing can pass through the field, it can't be dispelled, and it can only be destroyed by the Disintegration spell. This lasts for 10 minutes while you maintain this spell. For your new spell, Hold Monster is a stronger version of Hold Person but can now target any creature out to 90 feet. You've hit character level 9, raise your proficiency bonus by +4. Level 10 Psykinetic Scions learn Enhanced Telekinetic Crush. When you cast the spell Telekinetic Crush, you can expend 1 psionic energy dice to reduce the speed of the target by half its total speed, regardless of if it passed or failed the save. You can also add the psionic dice roll to the damage. You also now get 2 more psionic disciplines. For these disciplines, Psionic Backlash lets you use your reaction when you take damage to reduce the damage and hit back. Now when you use your reaction after getting hit, you can expand 1 psionic energy dice, reducing the damage by 2 times the roll plus your intelligence modifier, and then you force the attacker to make a wisdom save, taking psychic damage equal to the damage reduction you got. Sharpened Mind makes you far more dangerous. Now at the start of your turn, you can expend 1 psionic energy dice, rolling the dice and recording the number you gain, and after you record the number, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute. All psychic damage you deal ignores psychic resistance, and once per turn when you deal psychic damage to 1 or more creatures, you can replace the damage with the number recorded when you activated this discipline. You can use this with another psionic discipline. For your new spells, Synaptic Static creates a zone of distorting psychic energy, creating a 20-foot radius sphere out to 120 feet. Each creature within must make an intelligence save or take 8d6 psychic damage. Also, if they fail, for 1 minute, the psychic energy clouds their minds. They must subtract 1d6 from all attack rolls, skill checks, and con saves to maintain spells. While affected, at the end of each of their turns, they can retake the save to end the effects. You get another cantrip here, have fun choosing. Level 11 Scions unlock 6th level spells. Your psionic energy dice are now D10s. For your new spell, Confusion clouds the minds of creatures, creating a 10-foot radius sphere out to 90 feet. Every creature within the sphere must make a wisdom save, or for the next 1 minute while you maintain the spell, they can't take bonus actions or react, and at the start of each of their turns, they must roll a D10 to determine their behavior that turn. You've reached character level 11, Mind Sliver and Telekinetic Flip now deal 3 damage dice each. Level 12 Scions earn another ability score improvement. Let's wipe out that negative in Charisma. Level 13 Scions get 7th level spells. You now have 10 psionic energy dice. You also have 2 more psionic disciplines. For these disciplines, Psionic Guards improves your defenses. At the start of your turn, you are immune to the Charmed and Frightened condition and have advantage on intelligence saves until the start of your next turn. You can use this with another psionic discipline. For your next discipline, take what you want. For your new spell, Psionic Blast from Unearthed Arcana unleashes a wave of psychic energy, creating a 16-foot cone from you. You force an intelligence save on everyone within the cone, dealing 6d8 psychic damage on a failure and giving them the stun condition until the start of your next turn. You're now character level 13, make your proficiency bonus +5. Level 14 Psychinetic Scions receive Heightened Telekinesis. Now when you cast Telekinesis, you can expend 1 psionic energy dice to cast this spell without using a spell slot, and it will no longer require concentration to maintain it. But the spell now lasts only for 1 minute, and you can target gargantuan creatures and objects. Level 15 Scions gain 8th level spells. For your new spell, Power Word Stun targets one creature within 60 feet, and if the target has 150 HP or less, they gain the stun condition, and they stay stunned until they can make a con saving throw at the end of one of their turns. If they have over 150 HP, their speed is reduced to 0 until the start of your next turn. Level 16 Scions earn another ability score improvement, bump up dex for a better AC. Level 17 Scions learn 2 more Psionic Disciplines. Choose what you want. You have 12 Psionic Energy Dice that are now D12s. You also now have 9th level spells. For your new spell, Psychic Scream, found in Xanathar's or the Unearthed Arcana, unleashes a blast of psychic energy out to 90 feet, targeting up to 10 creatures. Each creature must make an intelligence save, or take 14d6 psychic damage and gain the stunned condition. If the target is reduced to 0 HP, their head explodes. The target stays stunned until they can make an intelligence save at the end of their turn. If the target has an intelligence of 2 or lower, they are unaffected. You've reached the final milestone, character level 17. Max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Mind Sliver and Telekinetic Flip now deal 4 damage dice each. Level 18 Scions get Psionic Reserves. When you roll initiative, you regain expended uses of Psionic Energy Dice until you have a total of 4. For your new spell, Power Word Kill targets one creature within 60 feet, and if the target has 100 HP or lower, they die. If they have more than 100 HP, they instead take 12d12 psychic damage. Mewtwo ain't playing anymore. Level 19 Scions earn an epic boon. For your boon, Boon of Fortitude is going to add +1 to your con and then gives you 40 HP. Also, whenever you regain HP, you can add more HP equal to your con modifier once per turn. For your new spell, Power Word Heal targets one creature within 60 feet, including yourself, and regains all HP. This will also end the conditions Charmed, Frightened, Paralyzed, Poisoned, and Stunned. If they have the Prone condition, they can also now use their reaction to stand up. Our final level is level 20 Scion, and you get Enkindled Life Force. Now, once per turn, when you expend one Psionic Energy Dice and roll it for a Scion feature or Psionic Discipline, you can expend 2 hit dice to roll 2 additional Psionic Energy Dice, which you can add without expending the dice. For your final spell, take what you want. Now that we've reached level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 12, Dex 18, Con 14, Intelligence 20, Wisdom 10, Charisma 10. Let's dive in. You are a powerhouse of telekinetic ability. You can reshape stone, move massive objects, create unbreakable barriers, give yourself an AC of 17, can make that 22, and you can throw people and objects around with little effort. You can also crush weaker minds. Literally, your strongest attack can just end a creature with a look, and one of those can cause the head to explode, with your most basic attacks dealing 46 psychic damage or 40-10 force damage. Finally, you're just pretty good. You can get anywhere with the power to fly and teleport. You heal yourself. You have over 160 HP, taking the average, and improve your skill checks. Downside. Firstly, you have the Spellcaster's Curse, concentration spells. You also have some resource management with 12 Psionic Energy Dice, but, that's not too big. In fact, neither is concentration spells. You're going to figure out how you want to play this character. Time to head out and discover what it means to exist without the interference of those who wish to use you for their own means. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Daniel Saffler, and Adam. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.